Ronda Rousey Bethe Correia.
E eu desafio a Ronda a tentar tirar minha invencibilidade. Eu vou me aposentar invicta.
After that fight, she had my attention. I talked to Dana and I said, I want to beat her in the most embarrassing way possible. I want to beat her in her hometown.
Ronda Rousey's already one of the fiercest competitors the women's combat sports have ever known. She's not the type of person you want to start a fire under.
Once again, first round armbar finish for the champion.
Então acho que ela foi rotulada como a mais dominante do mundo, mas não é. Tá? E o meu vai sobressair, vai entrar.
She rocked her again. Big shots by the Brazilian.
She really is an elite and dangerous competitor.
Mas o que eu quero dar à Ronda é um presente, que é saber o que é um soco pesado na cara, né?
UFC 190 will mark the biggest fight in Bethe Correia's young career, tenfold. Rousey is undeniably MMA's most transcendent star.
She used to be a pure rapper. Look how good her hands are now.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Doing good stuff, fast, punching, accurate, twisting to the side. How do you stay focused on this if you're only a human being? How do you not say, I am the I am beautiful, I am a god? I'm not serious.
And box. Time.
Oh, hi, everybody.
This must be weird now, huh?
It's becoming strangely normal, actually.
Right after the fight, was a whole bunch of stuff before the fight, during the fight, and then right after the fight, I may talk some stuff, and then I just go home and just look in the mirror and look at myself. I can't believe I did this.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But you're the champ.
That'll be. Thank you.
See you shortly.
Yes, you will. Bethe Correia, she's undefeated. I'd like to take that O away from her.
Eu não caio em pilha. Você nunca lutou com alguém com tanta raça que deixou uma vida, um mundo, por esse título.
I like fighting more from the moment itself than doing it. It's so much earned happiness. And it's because of all the stress and anxiety and everything and the work that goes into it. It's like the journey's awesome, but the payoff is amazing.
Very good, how are you?
Good, really good.
Fantastic.
So do you want to hop in the back?
Good. Have good training.
Awesome. I love the people here, the passion of the crowd. I mean, even though I've been booed here a bunch of times, it was still the most amazing feeling, you know. And like what I feel, the kind of energy I get from the Brazilian people here, making me feel like what I'm doing is more special and more important, and it makes me so happy to perform for them.
Olhando.
É isso que bom! O reflexo dele tá melhor que o meu.
Olhando pro mestre, não pode baixar a cabeça.
Eu acho que a energia do mar, maresia, tem um poder de sugar toda a energia ruim, todo o seu estresse, tudo que você passa durante a semana, eu acho que aqui fica no mar e o mar leva. Minha princesa, a minha vida tá aqui. Ariel, ela que alegra a minha casa.
Oh, que maravilha, ganhei um beijo, o treino vai ser ótimo.
O treino hoje é o meu último treino físico. O treinamento físico é dividido por etapas, né? Tem etapa de força, tem etapa de explosão. E agora só a finalização dele mesmo, que é o final para a luta mesmo.
I want to be the perfect fighter, and that's one of those unattainable goals because you will never be perfect, but I could always be closer to perfect. I've bled more than they ever could bleed, I've sweat more than they ever could sweat, and I've cried more than they ever could cry.
Chegou minha hora, me encontrar com a Ronda. A hora que eu tanto queria, que eu tanto pedi. Chegou meu momento de acertar as contas.
Saturday, August 1st, UFC 190, reigning champion Ronda Rousey versus number 7 ranked Bethe Correia. Let's go ahead and get started.
How do you go into a fight like this where maybe emotions do get a little high and not let those emotions get the better of you?
Once you're in there, it's like the emotions are gone. It's just observations and decisions and priorities of what to do. These girls are like plants, you know. Sometimes you can grow a crop and you can harvest it year after year like Misha, and sometimes you harvest it once and it'll never grow back. Like, I don't think Bethe will ever come back after this. I have this one term for the kind of woman that my mother raised me to not be, and I call it a do-nothing bitch. Just because my body was developed for a purpose other than fucking millionaires doesn't mean it's masculine. I think it's femininely badass as fuck because there's not a single muscle on my body that isn't for a purpose, because I'm not a do-nothing bitch. That's the exact candle I actually have at home, and I light like every night before bed. You guys want to know why this shirt is special, this one? Yes, I do. I wore it for the first day of my first Strike Force check-in. You did? Yeah. Woohoo! I love it here. I love fighting here. I always fought above myself in Brazil. I called them lucky cities. I had like 2 luckiest cities. It was Rio and Budapest were my 2 luckiest cities where I always like fought the best. Bethe Correia is definitely my biggest challenge to date. She's an undefeated fighter, a pure MMA fighter with no gaps in her game. But the fact remains that I'm still the best in the world. After I beat Bethe and teach her a lesson in respect, I'm going to jump into the arms of my family and go eat some buffalo wings. If I could find them in Rio.
Cheguei, Brasil!
Minha preparação já acabou, já estou pronta. Agora só é manutenção mesmo, não parar. O corpo tem que estar na inércia da luta o tempo inteiro. Olá! Quem está perdendo a sua invencibilidade, que está deixando de ser invicto, quem vai deixar de ser campeã é a Ronda. A pressão é dela. Eu estou aqui atrás de conquistas. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from my fights. I should just worry about making myself and my family happy. And maybe that's why I'm wrong, you know? It wouldn't make my family happy to drag it out. I give Bethe so much respect as an athlete, whereas she just hopes that somehow I'm going to be mentally weakened or something. Why are you hoping for me to fuck up?
Foi muito bom, eu nunca tinha feito isso, nunca tinha feito um treino aberto e foi muito gostoso ver a galera lá aplaudindo.
It's just so heartwarming to be so pleasantly surprised and to be so welcomed with such a big heart by such an amazing people. I'm really humbled by today, and after I beat Bethe, I hope they still feel the same way. I feel so rejuvenated, and I feel like that same hunger that I did back then. I promised the Brazilian people that I would come here and I would fight for them, and I'm fulfilling that promise, and I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna go win.
Ronda here, please.
E não desiste. Se alguém disser pra você que não pode, você pode. Porque o mundo todo disse que eu não podia e eu estou aqui desafiando o tempo. Então não desista.
Eu sou do povo, né? Eu sou deles. Eu treino, eu luto pra eles, então... Agora, a etapa mais chatinha, né? Perder peso, treinar, mas a energia tá boa demais.
Perfeito. Que lindo.
I'm constantly trying to develop my game more, and I've been spending a lot of my time on my striking, and it'd be very satisfying to see some more progress. But being in the country that developed Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it would also be really cool to get a submission and pay homage to such a prestigious Brazilian sport.
It gives me a lot of confidence when I'm going into the fight because all these other girls are coming in as the first time they're fighting someone else who's undefeated, whereas like I know that I've come against undefeated girls again and again and again, and I'm just the best.
Quando eu penso na luta, eu sempre me vejo superior à Ronda. Quando ela está aplicando qualquer golpe em mim, eu usando meus contra-ataques, eu a vejo nocauteando a Ronda.
Before I go on, I sleep. I sleep all day, and then when I get in my locker room, I go to sleep. And then they wake me up and warm me up, and I go do my thing. I keep my mind open, and I like my system. And people don't believe me for some reason. It just comes to me, I don't know.
Direto. Contra golpe. Sai, pega. Pá, direita. Com a toalhazinha para também fazer o processo da reta final do peso, né? Amanhã tá no peso. Amanhã tá o peso batido, tranquilo.
Chegou a hora. Primeira luta agora da balança. Vemos na HSBC.
UFC fans, the Octagon is back in Rio de Janeiro for the 7th time as we welcome you to the official weigh-ins for UFC 190, Rousey versus Correia. And now, to get the official weigh-ins for UFC 190 underway.
Ronda, you are the most dominant female combat sports athlete ever. What's next?
Bethe Correia, she's undefeated. I'd like to take that O away from her.
Então se prepare, que você vai cair.
People don't realize that when I finish a fight quickly, that's me at my most merciful.
Good overhand right by Ronda.
Big throwdown.
That's it.
It is all over. Are you kidding me? Digging into the body.
Oh! Good combination by Correia.
She rocked her again.
Que a Bethe Correia é realidade, não é uma figurinha da mídia que fez para que o mundo fez em cima de você.
I'm going to make sure that girl does not leave looking the same way that she did walking in.
$134.
60.7 quilos, 60 quilos e 700 gramas para Bethe Pitbull. E vem aí a campeã da UFC. 61.2 quilos, 61 quilos e 200 gramas para a campeã Ronda Rousey.
Eu acho que o Brasil precisa de uma campeã. Eu sei que muitos não torcem por mim, mas eu vou lutar por todos os brasileiros. Eu amo o Brasil.
I've dreamed about this moment for a long time. I think Brazil needs a female champion. I know a lot of people aren't rooting for me, but I'm going to fight for all of Brazil.
You're not going to be disappointed. I'm going to give you the best women's title fight you've ever seen, the most devastating loss you've ever seen from Bethe, and my best win. So thank you guys for the passion, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, I do learn some little things that I go in there when I look at the person, I think about all the things I'm going to do to them, and my mind isn't thinking about things to say to them, and I just kind of think that her mind's in the wrong place.
This is the most focused I've ever been for any fight I've ever had before, and the main objective is to beat Bethe in the most embarrassing way possible today.
For the 7th time, the Octagon is here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
What Bethe Correia brings to the table is toughness. She's an animal, but she's fighting the most talented female combat sports athlete the world has ever seen.
Public enemy number one for me now Bethe Correia.
The amount of intensity that was involved in this stare down, Ronda wasn't saying anything.
Arriving earlier, the most dominant and destructive female fighter in the world. 11-0 Ronda Rousey. Bethe Correia, who has always had her fighting focus clearly on being a UFC champion.
Michael Irvin making the trip all the way overseas here to Rio to watch the one, the only Ronda Rousey. There he is, the UFC featherweight champion of the world, one of 11 Brazilians to own a UFC belt.
Tonight, the undisputed UFC champion, Ronda Rousey, fights in the octagon for the first time here in Brazil. Bethe Correia. The Pitbull wants to make this battle a brawl. Meet in the center of the octagon. Go toe-to-toe.
And as ferocious an opponent, especially with the style of fighting, as Ronda's ever met.
She's well prepared. She's fired up. I think she's just almost like a mythical feature, a mythical human at this point.
11-0 Rousey, 28. 9-0 Correia, 32. Ronda Rousey will have a 4-inch reach advantage.
Time! The challenger, Bethe Pitbull Correia! Rowdy Ronda Rousey!
We went over the rules in the back. I told you protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good. Step back. Good luck to both of you.
In the white, the Brazilian, the champion in the black. They start out early. Fight clock brought to you by Bud Light. Nicely done with the uppercut on the clinch.
Ronda's teeing off on her here.
Ronda trying to finish it early. She's in trouble. Ronda with the knee now. Bethe Correia is in big trouble. Here is all over. Just like that. She's unbelievable.
Wow. Whoa.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
That young lady is the greatest in the world, and we haven't found a close second yet.
She just keeps getting better. She's terrifying. Wow.
Fight replay, Joe, brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Right hand to the temple, and she face plants.
She brawled with the brawler and won.
Look at this again. Bing. And she hit it with a left as she was going down. She hit it with the right hand to the temple and a left as she was going down. Unbelievable.
And still, the undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world.
I plan to, instead of trying to force a clinch, to overwhelm her striking first so that she would want to clinch first. And that's exactly what happened. Overwhelm her, so she went for the clinch, and then it was up to me whether to try and go for a takedown or keep going. And so I guess she can't really say anything about my hands anymore, huh?
It's an honor to call your fights. It really is. You're the best ever. You're just a true once-in-a-lifetime human being. And I just want to tell you, I'm just beyond honored to call this fight.
Even the people that booed me, thank you for the noise. People that cheered me, I like you even more. Thank you.
The best ever, ladies and gentlemen, Ronda Rousey.
We're backstage at UFC 190. She's still undefeated, Ronda Rousey. How are you feeling right now? There's got to be a big sense of relief.
Sometimes it's so surreal, you know. I feel like it's like a dream or something, but every single time I get back in there, it seems like it was just yesterday that I was there. And I don't know, it's like, it's hard to describe. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not even sure this is my life.
I know everyone's gonna want to know your thoughts on what's next for you. I know Dana said that it was Miesha Tate because she defeated Jessica Ai. Is that really what you see going down?
I'm gonna take a couple days off and relax a little bit, and then go back to camp, and then beat her up again, and then go film a movie, and life is good. I'm figuring it out. Well, I consider the matter settled, and that I'm not gonna have to think about her ever again after this day, and I'm sure she'll have to think about me plenty. And so, as far as I'm concerned, it's over and done with. And that's why I think Miesha is one of my greatest challenges, because she already has an idea of what she's getting in there with. I know I've improved a lot since last time we fought, but I don't have that element of surprise, and I know she'll bring in something different every single time, and so I'm eager to see what she comes up with this time. I think I also proved a lot to myself and everybody else about the diversity of my own fighting style, and I don't think I would have had it go any different way. I'm really happy with tonight. I'm one step closer to retiring undefeated and having a real legacy, and that's my goal at this point.
I'm not sure if I read the situation properly, but it seemed like after the stoppage, you turned around and said something to Bethe.
I said the exact same thing she was saying to me at weigh-ins. You know, she was screaming in my face at weigh-ins. She was saying, "Don't cry." So I turned around to her after I knocked her out and I said, "Don't cry."